So those are all the operations that have been going on in the last couple of months, all leading up now to this point, a few minutes before launch, 3 minutes before launch. And the teams watching over all these operations are in the Launch Control Centre, which is about 3 kilometres from the pad, not 250 metres like the first Ariane that we heard about earlier. About 100 or so people in here. And they're dealing with all the systems concerning both the launch vehicle and the launch zone. They started their preparations months ago, but right now their job is to make sure that Ariane is ready for takeoff. And they're monitoring all the events during this final phase now of the synchronized sequence. Very busy, concentrating hard right now. There we have Ariane, the satellites inside the top of the launcher there, waiting for liftoff, nice and comfy. Got their air conditioning in first class with their seat belts on. Coming up to 2 minutes now, getting close. This is a good shot here of the cryogenic arms clamping to the upper stage of the launch vehicle. They feed liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen into the upper tanks, and to keep hydrogen and oxygen as a cryogenic fuel, to keep it cold, we have to keep the hydrogen at minus 253 and the oxygen at minus 150 Celsius, very cold. Everybody coming out of the control centre now to watch the launch with their own eyes from the viewing balconies on each side of the control centre. This is the mission control centre, about 15 kilometres or so from the pad.
À tous de DDO, attention pour moins 1 minute. Top, à 0 moins 1 minute.
We are live at the Guyana Space Centre, and 1 minute to the launch of طيبة 1 for Thales Alenia Space and Airbus Defence and Space on behalf of the Government of Egypt, and GX5 for the operator Inmarsat, built by Thales Alenia Space. Our best wishes to all the teams. We're pretty set to go. Let's watch now and wish everybody the best of luck.
À tous de DDO, attention pour les décomptes finales. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2, 1, top. Allumage chacun. Allumage EAP, décollage. Les paramètres à bord sont normaux. La propulsion est nominale.
Well, that is a spectacular sight. Ariane 5, flight number 250, the 250th Ariane vehicle to launch from the pad here at the Guyana Space Centre, blazing a trail across the equatorial skies. Flying supersonic, faster than the speed of sound. And the vibrations are reaching us here at the Guyana Space Centre.
Les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
He's telling us that everything on board is going according to plan. We're flying out east across the Atlantic. طيبة 1 and GX5 have started their journey. And he's telling us the propulsion is nominal. Right now the boosters are doing all the work. They're those two big solid tanks on each side of the launcher. Once they burn their propellant, they separate and fall away, and we might be lucky enough to see that. And we could just see them back there.
Des étages d'accélération à poudre.
Those two big boosters, those two dots we saw moving away. There we can see them. Look at that. The dot in the middle is the Vulcan engine on the main stage. And the two lights on either side are the boosters. We don't need them anymore. They've burnt their propellant and we are shedding weight. That's the name of the game. We need to get rid of our weight as quickly as we can, and those were propelling us away from our Earth's gravity.
La propulsion est nominale.
Bottom left is our altitude. We're 106 kilometers high and climbing. Our distance in the middle. If you were to draw a straight line from the pad, you can still see those boosters moving away. And we have confirmation there that the fairing has now separated, and look how those parts flex. It's called the breathing mode. It's all part of the plan. We don't need the fairing anymore because we are technically in space and our satellites can be exposed to space now because there's no longer any friction, and the captain has switched off the seatbelt signs.
Tous les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
Everything's going